Hello and welcome from one of the hottest days in Berlin and also from one of the hardest places to do photography in Berlin. I am at Potsdamer Platz, Berlin right now, and this video is for anybody who thinks that having an expensive camera or lens makes you a better photographer, right? Because this place is an urban chaos. It is full of contrasting features. It has parks, but it also has high-rise buildings. It has offices, embassies, cafes, shopping malls, and it's full of traffic, as you can see from the noise and from my back. So the challenge for me today is to just take one good photo, at least one good photo in Potsdamer Platz, Berlin, and show you how sometimes only your skill matters and does not matter what kind of gear you use, right? So if you enjoy this video in the end, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, just let's go and have fun.
So let's start with the Mall of Berlin, and I will walk from this place to S-Bahn or train station of Potsdamer Platz. Today I'm using my 18 to 55 mm zoom lens, and I also have my 50 mm f2 prime in my bag, but I'm starting with this lens because this will give me more options. This is actually a very popular photo spot among photographers. You have railings on both sides which act as leading lines, as you can see already, and it gives you really cool silhouette shots of the people walking against the background. You can basically get good shots at any time of the day here. I just want to zoom out so that I can take the whole place in my photo. Let's see what we have from the other side. There's not much on the other side, but I do have a plan. You see, there's a cafe downstairs, and I feel that I can take a photo of the people sitting in the cafe. Maybe I can create like a pattern of these people sitting. There's also this waiter who is, just walking around the table, so maybe I can focus on him and get some cool shots. Taking overhead shots is a bit tricky, so I'm zooming out so that I can get as much space as possible. Let's go outside and see what we get. I think I need to change my camera settings. Yeah, I need to increase the ISO a bit. It's too dark. I'm not going to increase it too much because obviously I don't want noisy photos, but this camera basically supports high ISO tolerance, so that's fine. But I don't normally avoid increasing ISO beyond 640 if I have good light. Let's take some photos of these people on the bridges. I can get some nice silhouette shots. Lots of people just hang around on these bridges and do people watching. You see the man on the bridge, he is also a photographer. He was taking photos from the other side. He is taking photos of me right now and I am taking photos of him. Sometimes photographers do weird stuff. Maybe I can use this as a leading line. Yeah. Maybe I can use this as a leading line and maybe I can wait for somebody to cross over. Maybe I should sit down. Yeah. I'm just waiting for somebody to cross over and then I can focus on them. That can be a nice shot. Let me zoom in. I see some people on the bridges. We can get some silhouette shots again. You don't have to wait for people here. There's too many people all day long. Let's walk to the other side. Let's move away from the mall. Maybe I can use this line as leading line also. Same like the one we did before. It's a nice building. You get beautiful buildings at every corner in Germany or Europe in general. Must be a government building or something, I don't know. It gives a nice background. I'm looking for silhouettes against a bright background so we can have a nice contrast. Let's go. Which way should we go? Left or right? Left or right? Let's go with left. I know there's not much going on the left hand side, but that's the challenge, you know. For this challenge I need to make sure that I am covering all bases and looking for all stories possible. I have an idea actually. Let me show you. There's a bus sign on my right. Let me show you. Yeah, so this one. So maybe if I can focus on this bus sign and I can wait for a bus to pass and I can have the bus in the background and this sign in the foreground, that can be a good shot. In fact, I can do that with any vehicle, but a bus would be good. Here comes. There's also a delivery guy. I feel I could have taken better photos with a wide angle lens. And this is the challenge here. You can never bring one particular perfect lens for this place. And I feel this goes hand in hand with what we were discussing before, that having an expensive camera makes you a better photographer. I don't feel that is entirely true. Because at this moment, for example, I could have the best camera available with the best lens available and I could still take bad photos because I don't know how to tell a story, or I don't know the basics of composition, for example. I mean, I know, but I'm just, assuming. Expensive cameras or lenses, just make sure that you have high quality photos because they have bigger and better sensors, so they can process noise or they can process HDR more efficiently. They have a lot more color profiles. They have a lot of refined and nice upgraded tech that will make sure that you have high quality photos. But having high quality photos does not mean that those photos are better, because those photos can still suck because they have bad storytelling, or those photos don't follow the basics of photography, right? I think I can also give you an example right here, right now. Let me look for it. So yeah, this can be something I can show you. So on my left I can see that there is a road crossing, right? So now I'm using a Fuji X-T5, which is expensive camera, and the lens is also quite decent. So this photo is okay but does not tell a story, right? So the photo is high quality, but it does nothing. But if I go down, if I crouch down, maybe I can wait for people to cross the road with these vehicles stopping, and then I can maybe tell a story in those photos, right? I can maybe show you this urban jungle, this concrete chaos, and show how the daily lives of people, the busy streets and all that. So now these photos actually tell a story. They are basically implying something. This is the difference between a bad photo, an average photo, and a good photo, right? I can still take these same photos with a below average camera or an entry level camera, and these photos can still be good because maybe they are noisy. Wait, I'll see something here. That girl is coming towards me. She is wearing pink and we have pink neon signs in the background. The moments at every corner. So as I was saying, I could have taken those photos back there with below average cameras and they can still be good. because there is some storytelling, right? So having an expensive camera or lens does not guarantee that you become a better photographer, but having a good sense of storytelling and having a good sense of photography basics would definitely make sure that you have become a better photographer. you know Obviously you also need practice. I love this area. You have high rise buildings on the left. You also have summer markets below these buildings on the left. Then you have restaurants on the right, all these corporate offices. In fact, my first office in Berlin was here, on Potsdamer Platz. I used to work in WeWork before it went bust. I think there's a storytelling. The guy is waiting for somebody, so we can basically have another person in the frame and create some kind of storytelling. There's also another popular shot that people do here, which is motion blur. uh, People would just bring their tripods and stand on the road crossings, and they would uh, do a motion blur with these high-rise buildings in the background. I feel that's a very nice shot because you basically show how fast-paced this place is with the motion blur. There's something going on the left. uh, I think this can be a good shot. Let me go closer. So she is basically having a time of her life. She's looking out of the window of the car. A lot of people basically rent limousines and then they just go and party with their friends. She's definitely having the time of her life. The composition is not good, but I feel the storytelling would make up for it. I'm at highest shutter speeds right now. For this kind of shot, you need to be at least 250 seconds. 1 by 250, I mean. Let me try something different this time. So I just want to get all these stars, all these buildings in the same frame, and but I cannot zoom out enough, so I need to go down. And maybe I should do a landscape instead of portrait. I'm just waiting for somebody to pass by, and maybe I will use them as silhouettes and have all these stars in the background, and that would be a cool shot. Just want to show you, I just want to create like a dystopian, urban storytelling kind of thing. I normally use 1 by 125 shutter speed for cyclists or bikers. For cars, I usually use 1 by 250 or higher to freeze the motion. For people, I feel 1 by 25 is good. 1 by 60 is also good sometimes if they are not running. Let's cross the road. There's a particular spot I want to show you in the S-Bahn station. 2-3 years ago, I took a shot at the same location and it got very popular. It got a lot of engagement on my social media, on my Instagram. I cannot replicate this shot today because the light is not the same, but I feel that location is still very good. We also have a lot of tourists on my right because we have this Berlin Wall, a section of the Berlin Wall kept here permanently. Maybe we can do some storytelling. It's always nice to see people's reactions when they read about the wall. A lot of people get emotional. I've seen that. So maybe we can basically take photos of people reading history or just looking at the wall and all that. This was a very important piece of history, so people do get a lot interested in reading about it and looking at it. I feel one of the reasons Berlin gets a lot of tourists is because of the history attached to this city. Let me go a bit closer. In this situation, I'm not looking to capture people's faces, but instead, I just want to shoot from their backs because I want to show that they are all hunched and crowded and trying to get a glimpse of the wall. I want to show in the story that the wall is attracting people from all around the world. I want to show that the wall is, you know, stirring up emotions in the people, how it is making the people interested in the history. This is nice. Even better when children read about this. It also makes sense because they are the future, but it also, creates a very powerful storytelling. Maybe I can try the dystopian thing here. Maybe I can go down and place one of these people as subjects in the frame and have these stars in the background. I will have to do a landscape shot though. I'm shooting with the same lens, by the way. I started with the 18 to 55 and I'm shooting with the same lens, but I'm basically shooting at different focal lengths. I'm going to show you the spot now because we have been talking about it so long. By the way, shooting with a zoom lens is the best way to save money on camera gear. Because if you shoot with a zoom lens early on while you are starting photography, you can easily identify the focal length you are comfortable with, and then you can go ahead in the future and buy a more expensive lens with that focal length. So that's how I bought my 50 because I saw that most of the photos that I was taking with my zoom lens was at 50 Let me take a photo from here. Yeah. Normally I would just place people as subjects here with silhouettes. They notice me and they are dancing. How cool is that?
Thank you. Thank you.
They asked me to take more photos. Some people are just cool. Let me show you the spot now. This is our secret, don't tell anybody about this. So on my left you see all these escalators and railings. So I use them as lines to frame, and I just place a person or subject in between those lines. So very simple yet effective composition. I'm waiting for somebody interesting to pass by. I'm just taking a random shot. I know this won't work, the composition is not good, but I can't help it. I can't help myself if I see silhouettes. You can do a lot of storytelling at this spot. You can have a lot of combinations like people coming down, people going up, and you can basically tell a story with this. There's a bunch of people coming down and some are going up, so maybe I can do some more storytelling when they cross each other. If I had a telephoto lens here, maybe it could have been better because I could have focused on the subject more, bringing them near to you. But I also see somebody coming down. That can be a good shot. Last time I did it with only one single person, it came out good. Yeah, I like this. Last time I had a lot of sunlight and shadows right when the people are coming down, so it was a bit different. Today the light is not the same, but still I'm happy with the shots. This is interesting. This is something you pray for but you never get. Somebody just smoking down, smoking way up there, just standing there. I can't help myself with silhouettes. This looks very nice. Let me drink some water. I'm walking for a long time and it's easy to forget about anything else when you're doing photography. Let me just take a break and have some water. I think I will also change the lenses because I'm going to cross over and walk into the market. Here we go. Let me take the shot of this. Maybe I can have all the messages in one frame. This might not be the most beautiful shot, but I'm sure it's going to be the most important. You know. Let's see how it goes. I like it. Let's cross the street now. Summer markets are always very interesting. There's a lot of things going on. That's also a lot of challenge. I'm going to shoot there with my 50mm because I don't want to carry a bigger lens that scares people. Let's start with this. I really like people working in shops, especially food trucks. These are hardworking people, and I just want to, capture some moments of their work. Like this. Let's go straight. People are having fun. She saw my camera in the background, then she stopped dancing. She thought I was going to take a photo. I don't want to bother her. Why spoil someone else's fun just because you want to take a photo? Sometimes it's better to just, look with your own eyes and capture the moment in your mind. Maybe I can take a couple of shots here, but I want to make sure nobody's watching me. I'm also a bit hungry. If I find something interesting, I'll stop. We have wine, we have South American dishes, we have Indian street food. This is interesting. It's always interesting when, to capture moments like this. These lights on my left are also very beautiful. Maybe I can take a shot here. Let's see. Nice. But I think he saw me, but that's okay. Let's see what's down here. I'm hungry now. We can either have something to eat or maybe I can have something to drink. But I don't want to eat Indian because I am Indian, right? So I can have better Indian food at home. Why spend money on something when you can do better? Maybe these are all just souvenirs and shops and all that. Let's get a drink. Let's get a drink from maybe on the left side or up here. Let's see. There's a particular drink in Berlin called Fritz Cola that I really like. It's like a German version of, Pepsi or Coke, but it's better. Let's go back. I don't find anything here. Let's go back. Let me ask her.
Shrivam? Hi. How is the Fritz Cola?
Africola.
Africola. Can I have one?
Yeah.
It is.
Right. That was nice. I spent a good amount of time just having a drink and talking to that girl. She was asking me what I was doing, what I was filming about. I told her about my YouTube and all that. It was a nice chat. Let me take some shots here of the crowd. I want to end the video now. I think I don't know if I got the one good shot from today. Let me know in the comments below which one did you like. But I feel like, in this market, I want to take some more shots. I'm using my 50mm f2, by the way, because it's night time and I want to have as much light as possible coming into the camera, into the lens. This can be a good shot. Yeah. Let's I see something on the left. It can be an interesting shot. Let me try. So there's this guy running the Mexican, food stall. It looks really nice. The banners are also very interesting with all the, with all the women in the banner. And this is interesting. Let's see what else we got. Maybe I can go left. Yeah, I don't find anything interesting here, but let me just show you around. It's a very typical summer market that happens in different parts of the city. Let's go straight from here. I'll just go straight, show you around the market a bit, and then maybe we can take the photo of the S-Bahn station, and then I can end the video. By the way, let me know in the comments below which photo did you like. Did I fail or did I manage to get at least one good shot today? As you can see, I had to change lenses, and even when I was shooting with the zoom lens, I had to shoot at different focal lengths. So this is the challenge of this place. You can never shoot at one focal length. You can never be sure of what lens you should bring here. So getting a good shot at Potsdamer Platz, it's a challenge in itself. And after all of this, I can still do long exposure shots and still get a better photo. And it can still be better than anything I shot today. Let me try this shot. So my aperture is f2, and basically I am shooting at 1/60 shutter speed, and I have high ISO. So in short, I am trying to get as much light as possible. What's happening there? Are they crazy? The bus wants to cross, but the girls are just dancing before the bus. I've never seen something like this. Whoa. Maybe they are high. Seriously, man. Never seen something like this. They were just dancing before the bus. Crazy people. This can be a good shot. There are some favorites of photographers, people with hats, people with suitcases, and among others. Some subjects just create storytelling by themselves. You don't need anything else. Let me just cross this, and then I will end the video. I got an idea. Maybe I can. There's a red light, right? So maybe I can still get couple of shots. Let me try something. So there are a couple of teenagers coming from the left hand side, like this one, and maybe I can have them, right? So we can. So I'm just focusing on the people waiting to cross, and the girl is just blurred out. This can be a nice shot. Let me show you. Right, this is pretty cool. Right. All right. So thank you for listening to me. This was fun. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And gear does matter, but your skill matters more. Don't forget that. And see you next time. Bye.